a Hoover. A Hoover from the United States of America. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. I opened up Facebook Marketplace this morning, having me coffee, and here this was. Half an hour from my house on Facebook Marketplace. In the UK, this is a 110 volt American imported machine. And we need to go through it because I'm very excited to see what one of these is like, because I've never used one of these before. And my expectations are sort of going to be similar to what I expect a UK senior to look like and feel like and work like. But you never know. Let us have a look, see what we have. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and Hoover chums. How are you today? Yep, the Hoover handle is there, just about holding in to this very used machine. Immediately, we do not have the original bag, which is a shame, although I think these would have come with that vinyl-y, plasticky type of bag. We had those on a couple of machines that were American imports, but officially. So yeah, we don't have that original bag. That is fine. What's also blowing my mind is this handle, because you guys didn't have a handle grip like we did. And on the picture I noticed that, and I've seen them before. But luckily there is an end cap sat inside of here. So I bet that piece is frightfully difficult to find. We also have an oldie worldy style, even though I think this is a 1980 machine, switch cable exit. In the UK, this was all gone by the 1960s, and we had foot controls and all sorts of modern things. But no, here we are. I mean, it's a very tried and tested solution, and that switch feels beautiful. So that is very, very good. What doesn't feel so beautiful is this cable. It's been bugging me since I saw the photos, and I was originally a little bit concerned. Oh, there we go. Because look, the plug is completely bent on it. There's some caution label that I don't think bears any real relevance to anything. And then this white tag, which just has some sort of caution, avoid hazards. Well, yeah, that's what we need to try and do. So yeah, that is broken. And the guy said, oh, the plug's bent. He managed to force it into something to test it once. It ran, who knows. But upon closer inspection, what we have is an extension cord on what I hope and presume is the original flex. So there is the flex with its nice fluted, textured cable from the machine. And then yeah, we have this, oh wow, look, three-way. So we could plug 3 heaters into this little 2-core flex. That's pretty cool. Again, in the UK, completely pointless. I'm going to keep it for a laugh, but no practical use for it whatsoever. So yeah, we have, I don't know if this is, just wasn't long enough. I don't think it's been cut down. I think it's probably its original length. No crappy plastic cord hooks. Fantastic, rather than America. At least you use those more than we did. Or if it's a little bit loosey, we might have to tighten up some handles first. But what I do want to have a quick glance at is underneath, because when I'm trying to stand it up, it is rocking on its back. And we can have a look at underneath before we disturb all the dirt, because I do think this is a loft find. The whole house was being cleared. It wasn't the guy's house. Somebody knew. I had to wait outside of the car for him to arrive. And yeah, he didn't know much about it really. It's just a Hoover, and that's fine. But I think it's been stored, and yeah, it is wibbly wobbling about. So if we push this handle release pedal, oh, we can look underneath at the disgustingness and the filth. And we have both our wheels, but oh, there we go. I don't know really. I think this whole axle's been bent, and this whole plate is very loose. Because if I put it down, that wheel is sitting a lot prouder than this one. So I'd imagine I need to do something with that. Otherwise, it looks very conventional. We have the chassis. Ooh, yeah, look at all the cobwebs and the spiders. How lovely. Put that back on, just in case any are alive. We can kill them in just a second. They've probably been very kind and all run out of the back of my car, ready for me to find. So it's very familiar, but very different. So, and you probably noticed this sitting in the corner. For me to use this, I need to plug that adapter in there. And then I can take this, so you can see it in case it explodes. Then I can take this and plug it in, and then we can see if this bit works. Oh wow! That's got such good airflow. We just stretched the belt on it. That's got tremendous airflow actually, far more than I remember an 80cc having. Of course, in the next video, we should be checking that. Wow, that runs fantastic. Don't want to run it for too long, mostly because, just tweak you up a little bit, I do know that the zip works fine, so that's beautiful. The bag inside of here is not connected to anything and is pretty ruined. Oh yeah, there's a massive dead spider in there. So I think we are going to go and get the Victor V9 and give all of this a good clean out and find a belt and the new bag. We're safe now, the Victor V9 is here. Let's try and get this cleaned up a little bit. I think I trust the bag enough now to undo the top spring and see if the latch, it is moving, there we go, undo the bag flange, which has this piece of gaffer tape. That's always a great omen, isn't it? And a piece of silicone covering what I presume is a hole in the bellows. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But more cobwebs and dust. Right, so this bag vacuumed out very well. I do believe there's probably something horrifically wrong with these bellows. Where is it? Yeah, look in there, you see that little white? That's silicone sealant. I think we're just going to pretend we didn't see that for now and ignore it. This bag, for all of its non-originality, is a fantastic bag. Very thick, but breathable material and quite clean. So we're going to fit some bags to it, and it came with these. I'm going to guess that they're genuine Hoover. It doesn't actually have the Hoover logo anywhere on them, or indeed really say that they're genuine. So I don't know, but they are Type C bags. They've also all got this staple around them, which I think is to keep the pleats shut. We never had that in the UK, which I don't really know why. Yeah, our little belt is on here, so we can take that off. I slip it onto the bag. Then we shall slip the bag over the fill tube. Ripped it. This is a very tight interference fit. Belt. I have to have quite a lot of the bag open. There we go. And we shall feed our belt back down to this bag that's probably been sat folded up for 20 years at least. Will you just roll? There we go, roll. Oh, this is a genuine Hoover belt as well. I don't know if it has markings on it. We're probably going to need this belt for underneath, but we can get another one. And there we have a new Type C bag fitted to our outer bag. Fantastic. One job done. Let's go back to having a look underneath, because that looks absolutely terrifying. So back out with the Victor V9 and we'll get this a bit cleaned up. Not bad, a bit soft. Well, that's come up much better. I can show you the ratings plate now. U4173, and I think that's January 1980, which is very exciting indeed. Right, let's have another look under here now that I'm not quite scared of things falling out. Oh yeah, this belt has just destroyed itself on us, so that's fair enough. Plastic fan, this is a plastic fan earage machine, and then, yeah, we have this brush roll, which does have good brush strips. They are a bit soft though, which is mildly annoying, but that will be fine. Let me clean this up and we'll find a new belt. That is a lot cleaner. I've also just clocked the metal chassis here. I don't know if that's just... No, I don't think that is an infill piece. I guess that goes all the way around there, does it, my American viewers? Do let me know the same trick Hoover pulled in the UK, where there's a sort of metal disc that sits under here. It's not quite as visible as it is there. I think I prefer that because, again, on the UK ones, you always see that bit ground down, where a wobbly belt just sits and cuts at it for 40 years until somebody notices. I'm hoping, yeah, that looks about right, that a bog standard normal belt is all we need. I didn't do a very good job of cleaning those springs up, but never mind. Let us pop this out into place, put the belt on, which I think goes that way, and I'm hoping it's not quite as tight as I would like it to be, but I think that's also the only maybe belt I've got. We'll see. I think I've got others somewhere, but if this is some weird size that wasn't matched by the UK, we could be in trouble. But we'll figure that out in a minute. Let us move rubbish out of the way. Oh, don't break it. We can pop our nice bag-filled bag back into place, like so. No, like so. And see if it's any better. Right, let's see if it sounds any different. That works really well. This rug doesn't do it justice at all. But wow, that is, I think it bites down more than our equivalent seniors. Again, it's been a while since I've used a 1980s Hoover senior, but that's wicked. That was very grabby, very nice indeed. I don't like it looking like this, as much as it's not anywhere near the top of the queue for a refurb. I do think it deserves a good wipe down. Because to be honest, it runs really well. I'm very happy with that. It sounds a bit dry, I guess. It is red, it's not brown. Oh, yeah, look at that, nice. Is there an official colourway for this machine? Oh, that's not fading either, that's dirt. Ooh, that is coming up nicely. It's just a damp cloth. That's all we're going to use for now. And this cheap spray degreaser that you can pick up for £1 pretty much anywhere. Oh, there's paint marks, but in fact, I think this stuff gets them off a little bit. But they're paint marks, they're not massive scuffs. This is fantastic. This is actually just filthy. Oh, look at that, get the brown bumper. I feared that this bumper wasn't original, but then I saw some pictures on the wonderful vacuum land, which, you know, showed that it was the right bumper for the machine, so that's good, because again, I can't find spares for this. I don't quite know what to do about that hood, I don't know what to do about that wheel axle. You'll have to let me know down below. But I think this is going to come up really rather well, bar that Hoover logo. But that should be fine. Yeah. Get this cleaned up, and then I do want to pop the hood and have a look at its guts, and we can get a bit more cleaning done. Right, initial wipe down done. I do believe we need this screw here. Oh, I can push down on it. That was certainly the cracking sound, the good cracking sound of a screw that hadn't been undone for a while coming undone. So 2 hood screws, that's fairly normal. Ooh, turn him over. Wow. So that's where all the dirt has gone for the last, several years. Crikey, come on, Victor. Don't bring your cable with you, silly boy. Wow. Whatever storage this machine has had, it has been dry and nice, because all that took was the vacuum, and I had a little brush somewhere, the vacuum and this little brush, and that came up really, really well. You Americans do like your wire nuts, don't you? And it's a shame it runs so well, because I do think one day I would like to try a 240 volt motor in this chassis, because the chassis of a machine does make a fair bit of difference to how it runs. Maybe that's why they're so different. And now that the hood's up, I can get right into all of the little cracks, clean up all of this bit, all of these parts. It's not going to get refurbished straight away. It runs really well. There's certainly no immediate point, and I have machines that are more in the queue, but we're not going to begrudge it a wipe down. Yeah, even though it does have a little tiny wobble. Right, let me get this hood back on, and then we shall finish off. And for not a lot of effort later, that looks a flipping ton better. This thing's going to wash up very nicely indeed. And I thought we'd get out a little bit of deep power carpet to see if it shines. Oh, wow. I can see how you go for a ton of rubbish belts if you had a deep power carpet like this. Oh, wow, that was almost impossible to move even on high, but move it did. And the Hoover, it's a beautiful mover. This one certainly is pretty flipping decent. It is a shame about that wheel axle, and then step one's going to be to take that off and try and bend that back into shape. But otherwise, I mean, oof, Probably going to need something to do with the bellows, but hey, we have our bag that has done its job very nicely indeed. So, wow, there we go. And it's from a little village, well, from a massive town in Oxfordshire to a slightly smaller town in Oxfordshire. This little Hoover hasn't gone very far, probably its entire life. But here it is now. So if you're in the US, I mean, I know these are quite common, is that the right word? But I know that you got them in a ton of colours. Where did this sit in your lineup? Was it, a Bongo basic model? Was it a middle of the range model? What sort of bag should it have had on it, etc, etc, etc? Could I possibly still get flipping bellows for it? I don't know. But as it is, it works very well. What do you think? Have you ever had a random foreign vacuum cleaner turn up for, oh yeah, I didn't tell you how much I paid for this, did I? £30. Didn't even haggle with the guy. I was minted. Even if the motor had exploded, I really would quite like to 240 volt convert this, but I would miss that sound. I'm sure that sound is very different to how our sound. But that's probably going to be the topic of next video on this machine. I'm going to take the time to go get a couple of other Hoovers from the UK down, and we shall have a bit of a shindig and see what we find. So until the next video, I thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed, and I and this American beauty will see you soon. Bye bye.